is just the start.
What's up, y'all? Thanks for stopping by the obviously Lee Authentic channel. My name's Leah, that's spelled L-E-A and not L-E-A-H. So I know this is late, but I'm glad y'all you're rocking with me. I actually gained more subscribers, so we are finally at 100. Thank you so much for all of the new people who are here, and especially y'all who are like interacting with me at the bottom. I'm weird. I like to read comments. I like to have great discussions about characters, people on the show. Yeah, as long as a comment space, like as long as your comment, you can disagree with me. As long as it's not nasty or disrespectful, it's cool. You can disagree. But thank you all who are here that are new and the people who have continued to stay. I really appreciate y'all. Yeah. So let's get into this. I know it's late. Blame it on school, y'all. Today I took 2 quizzes, one in anatomy, one in physiology. Thursday, I'm taking a microanatomy quiz. Then on next Monday, next week, I have 2 exams. One in anatomy, which is going to be 4 hours. And then I think an hour and 30 minute, close to 2 hour exam on Wednesday, because I think September the 1st is Wednesday, in physiology. So I've been studying. It's not like I've been ignoring y'all. Like I told y'all, I ain't getting paid for YouTube. This is a hobby, but I do enjoy it. But we gotta pass, okay? I done took out too many loans not to get this degree, y'all. But let's get into this Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, because it was shenanigans and I loved it. But again, thank y'all so much for subscribing. I really appreciate y'all. I just want you to know that if ain't nobody else told you were appreciated on their channel, you appreciate it over in this corner of YouTube, in this small section of YouTube. So thank you. Let's get into this episode, y'all. So the episode kicks off where it left off, where Sutton is explaining to the ladies she does not feel comfortable associating with Erica due to the allegations being brought up against her and Tom. And I'm remember to say allegations and allegedly because my aunt hit me up and she was like, "Sweetie, remember to say allegedly." I was like, "You're right, because I don't have no money to give nobody. My money's tied up in school loans." So, but you know, family looking out. I appreciate them. So basically Sutton's like, something in the milk ain't clean. Like Sutton brings out a piece of paper basically explaining that one of the victims who was the burn victim, I think this is the same guy who was mentioned in the Hulu documentary, where his vocal cords got burned and he suffers 3rd-degree burn because of like an explosion in California. And he also unfortunately lost his girlfriend. Well, in the article it said that he won a settlement of $12 million, but Tom only allegedly gave him $1 million. So he's suing now for his money. And Erica was in that her company was labeled in the suing process. So everyone's like, oh. And that's the thing. It's like, I understand where people are coming from, where I get where Lisa is coming from. I get where Kyle and Dorita come from, even though they get on my nerves. And I get where Sutton is coming from. And Crystal, I get the opposition to support Erica because so far Erica just seems to be fabricating stories to cover her ass, and it's not working out for her. It's not making sense. It's just not working. It's just not working because it's like she's embellishing these stories and they're not adding up. And Sutton is like, something ain't right. When Sutton brought out them papers, I was like, oh, Sutton not playing. Like, Sutton said, what y'all will not do is ruin my good name. Sutton said, I'm involved in too much philanthropy and I got businesses and LLCs. You will not ruin my money. And I said, I ain't mad at you. But like I said, I do get Lisa Rinna and them talking about they're going to stick beside her until she's proven, like, it's innocent until proven guilty. Nowadays, it's guilty until proven innocent. But I understand. Like, I understand them wanting to support Erica, but I also understand Sutton's hesitation because Erica hasn't been truthful. Like, you can say, like, maybe she didn't know anything, but the way in which she has been moving throughout the episodes has been very, like, sneaky. It's been very, like, I knew something, but I didn't do anything to stop it. That's what it's really giving me. So, yeah. So then you had Crystal spoke up, and Crystal said when she was sitting on the hill with what's her name? Garcelle and Erica, and they were talking, and Crystal said it seemed clear to me that what Erica was saying, that these allegations of Tom doing underhanded things didn't start until 3 years later. But after reading the article, it seems like this has been going on for decades. So they even have like a little excerpt, and I got it here. Y'all know I always like to take my screenshots. And basically this is from the New York Times, and it says, one of the attorneys representing the crash victims, I think it's Edelson, said in court that for at least the last decade, Girardi had been running his firm like a Ponzi scheme. What they did is when money comes in, they would use that to pay previous creditors and previous clients, and then they wait till more money comes in, Edelson said. So basically robbing Peter to pay Paul, and you never can catch up that way. Dorit was saying how it never, like, Dorit's saying, y'all, Dorit got on my nerves. Dorit is basically saying, like, Erica did not portray this to us. Erica made it seem like her life was perfect, and she did. And she never let us know that there were issues in their marriage. And now all of a sudden there's these issues with the marriage. There's this and there's that. And it's like, do we really know this person even though we've been cool with her for almost 5 or 6 years? So Sutton like, girl, I don't know. Sutton's like, I'm not for it, but she needs to answer questions. Kyle even chimed in and said she needs to answer questions. Then Lisa Rinna in her confessional was like annoying me, because Lisa Rinna was like, a queen, no, she said a princess worries about her reputation, but a queen doesn't care. That's dumb as hell. Like, these allegations are serious, so I would worry about my reputation, and I don't have no money to give nobody. So but then Lisa brings up the whole Denise thing, and this is my thing. Denise sleeping with Brandy Garrett Glanville, them two munching on each other's carpets, that is reality TV fodder. Those two were two consenting adults who had sex or who engaged in sexual acts. No one cared. We kind of cared that she lied about it, but no one cared. This right here is something serious. And I guess Lisa is taking up the approach that, like, she really believes Erica versus, like, she didn't believe Denise. Because I knew Denise was lying. I feel like Erica might be slightly lying. But either way, like, get them people their money. They even did a flashback of, like, Tom talking about, you do good work for good people. And it just feels, after all of this coming out, it feels slimy. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, seeing that, like, flashback, and I was like, and allegedly you have done all these horrible things to people that really needed monetary compensations to, like, continue living their life. It just feels gross to see you sit there boasting about how, I don't care if it's $500 or $5,500. You always want to do good for the little people. And it's like, do you, Tom? Did you? So then we get to Garcelle. It was cute. Her son brung his family. It was just a nice dinner. I noticed that little baby eating that macaroni and cheese. He was like, this is what my mama need to give me. They need to teach that white lady how to cook. Because all them kids was eating. So I said, she need to learn how to put seasoning in her food. But it was cute to see her. I guess they spent Christmas at her house. But it was just nice to see, like, the whole family together. The her boys, which are, like, the kids' uncles, they seem to really like the kids. So I was happy for that. So then we see Kyle and Dorit FaceTime. They're getting ready for Kyle's Christmas party. I like the fact that Kyle eats. Kyle's down to eat. So I also kind of like the fact that she takes ownership of cooking. Like, I cook. Because, you know, when you think of Beverly Hills, you think of people who want for nothing, who are lazy, who are used to people giving them everything. But the fact that she takes pride in cooking for everyone, I like that about Kyle. So, you know, they're still talking about, like, you know, is Erica gonna come to the party? And they're worried about that. So we see Garcelle shows up at the house. The house looks really nice. The food actually looks really good. They're just talking. They bring up Erica again. Teddy pops up. Don't really care. Garcelle said Teddy's just annoying. And Teddy is. It's something, I think the thing about Teddy is, it's like Teddy is self-righteous. And it's like, but you have nothing really to be self-righteous about. Like, you're just a blonde white lady who allegedly had a cult where you was starving other white women. Y'all should look that up. Low-key, they said that's the reason why she wasn't on this season. Is because she got caught up in this scandal allegedly of, like, last season, when y'all remember when we saw her doing the whole workout thing and the whole them eating basically air. Those ladies were getting, like, I don't know if it was this, it's not the same women that they were filming with that season, but a lot of those women who have been a part of Teddy's little thing allegedly were like getting what's it called, passing out from, like, starvation, dehydration, because it's like they do yoga like at 4:00 in the morning. And then, like, they do all this, like, hot yoga. Then they don't eat. And when they do eat, it's, like, very small portions. It was a mess. And they were coming for her because they said it was a cult. So Teddy, a lot of people said that's why Teddy didn't get signed on for this season. Because she was afraid of them coming for her neck. So yeah, like I said, Teddy's there. All the ladies show up. I was getting annoyed with Dorit. Dorit couldn't open the door, so she kept like jimmying the thing, and I was like, bro, ring the doorbell, stupid. Like, you're trying, and because I guess the door was unlocked because everybody was walking in, but like, she could ring the doorbell. It was aggravating. Lisa needs to get rid of these wigs. Like, her wigs are ugly. Them wigs are horrible. They're horrible. Then Kathy comes. I actually kind of like the outfit Kathy comes in, but she said something, I'm birthing a gorilla, and then they did a flashback to Kim. I miss Kim. I feel like Kim was great on this show. If Kim could come back without us being worried that she would relapse, like with her substance abuse and alcoholism, I would love for her to be on this show, because Kim was getting people together. Like, Kim knows how to collect people, and not, like, when she told Lisa Rinna, eat some bread, you might be hungry, I remember screaming at that. Because that was during the season where everyone thought Lisa Rinna had an eating disorder, because she was like taking all these like supplements and not really eating, and she was already skinny. And like when Kim said, eat some bread, I said, that was funny. But it was nice. Then we have Erica driving. They are really, Erica, and that's the other thing with Erica. Erica is really trying to put on this like victim act, because everybody else got dropped off. Like, everybody was dropped off by like Uber Black or like a driver. Erica pulls up to the house in a car, and she's like, I'm like, girl, production definitely could have rented you a Uber Black. Like, you're doing too much trying to drive up, although that car is nice, driving up to Kyle's house. So she walks in, and it get real awkward. Like, she winks at Garcelle, but she doesn't say hello. Sutton is kind of looking at her like, And, like, it's just very awkward. So they sit down to eat. And this is where the shenanigans ensue. Dorit and Kyle low-key showed how fake they were. But especially, like, Dorit. Dorit is fake as hell. Because Dorit, when they had that Ponderosa in the beginning of the episode, was co-signing everything like was like really aligning with everything Sutton says. But when she gets in front of Erica, especially at the end when she was like, I pray to God that, you know, your salvation comes, you know, because we know you didn't do this. But you was on the couch the other day saying like, we don't know. So can we really say she didn't or she didn't do it? But now you're in her face and you're like, I know. See, this is why I would be Sutton, because Sutton legit, although it started off rough because it didn't seem like Sutton was going to own what she said, but Sutton said, yeah, I talked to my attorney. Erica was like, you talked to your attorney? And she said, yeah, because I was worried. And then like someone, and then Lisa trying to chime in talking about, no, be honest. And Sutton said, I am being honest, Lisa. What do you want me to say? Because Kyle said the same thing. And she said, I am being honest. What do you want me to say? And Sutton legit was like, I talked to my attorney. Because I'm worried about, and they were like, because she's worried about her reputation. And Erica was like, you didn't do anything. She said, I know I didn't do anything. She said, oh, I know I didn't do anything. But I need to know that I'm going to be okay tied to you. And then we end up getting a story from Garcelle about her sister, who I think she was doing, like, had a kidney transplant or something dealing with, like, inside organs. And the doctor messed up and it was malpractice, and she's been waiting because she actually got with a lawyer who was shysty. And Garcelle says, I know what it's like to wait for money that you desperately need and see a loved one suffer. So if Tom really did that, F him for that. And she said that with her whole chest. And everybody at the table was like, and she said, But you could tell Garcelle was not buying what Erica was selling, because she even said Erica was giving very surface answers. Like I peeped this part when Erica said, if Tom did this, sis, it's looking like the man did it, allegedly. But it's looking like the man did this. So, baby. And I was with Garcelle when Garcelle was like, you would be more angry if you were attached to something like this. And I said, I'd be pissed too. Like, don't ruin my name. And I'm just kind of like, Erica, it doesn't look good for you because it just don't look good. Like, Crystal even spoke up. Crystal said, the issue with me, like the issue I have is that, again, when we were on the mountain, you made it seem like Tom having that accident and all of this stuff happened in these 3 years. Now, when I read an article, this has been going on what it seems like for decades of him doing fraudulent stuff, allegedly. And Erica really didn't have a rebuttal for that. And I'm just kind of looking at Erica like, sis. And then like Dorit is really kind of like throwing Sutton under the bus, but then Garcelle had her friends back because Garcelle was like, that's not what you said yesterday. That's not what you said yesterday. And she said it multiple times. That's not what you said yesterday. And Dorit was kind of shocked, like, because her eyes got big. And I was like, sis, why are you lying? And then Erica's like, are y'all that afraid of me? And Sutton said, no, I'm not afraid of you. Sutton's not afraid. I don't even think the other ladies are afraid. I just think they're kind of like, they don't want to seem like bad friends to Erica because they know she's at a vulnerable place, which she is. Even though I don't believe it all the way, the truth of the matter is you go from someone having millions, like close to $60 million, $80 million, to virtually having nothing. That is a big shock for anyone. Like the way you were living, the way you lived your lifestyle, all of that has changed. Like Erica having that $180,000 ring on her hand that one season, that's a car. That's a Lamborghini. I think that's what they said or something like that. It's like you went from all of that. You went from being on Broadway. Now people not going to want to work with you. The best thing Erica could do is write a tell-all book and get her money that way and keep it pushing, to be totally honest. They then also bring up that this is another part of the article where it says, in the court filings last year, a company that loaned money to Girardi's Kessex, for business expenses suggests that Girardi improperly funneled more than $20 million to Jane's entertainment company. And that's that one article I read that I did not understand. I don't know. I should probably take that video down because it didn't make sense. But basically, all like money, they're saying that that $20 million that they're looking for to like divvy out to people, allegedly, he put that into her account. And there's public records of her company having that much money. So it's like everyone's sitting there looking at Erica, and it's like, sis, you're only giving surface level things. And then honestly, Kathy really said some real stuff, because Kathy was like, honestly, you don't really matter. The victims matter. It goes, the victims, then you will be all right. And I said, ooh, I like that. I honestly liked how direct Kathy was, because Kathy legit looked at her and was like, you don't really matter. The people that allegedly their money has been stolen from matter, you'll be okay. Because Kathy is probably thinking like, you're on this show, you're getting paid. These are people who who probably can't work for themselves, who are like relying on government funding in order to get surgeries that they need. So then I didn't like when the producers asked Erica, you've been very strong. And I'm like, no, she really hasn't. Like, what are she? She's just been sitting up here trying to like placate people and say that she didn't know. When honestly, it's coming off like you did know, sis. It really is. Like, it really is coming off like you knew something. Like, you may not have known the finite details of what was going on, but you knew something. It really is coming off like that. Like maybe she did get a heads up. Because the crazy thing is, and I forgot to mention that earlier in the video, is when Sutton said at the little powwow that her friend, like an attorney's friend, his wife told him, you need to get away from him. Like, get away from Tom's firm. And that was 10 years ago, because the wife said something about that ain't right. And that's a good wife, and that's how your partners need to be. When your partners smell something in the milk ain't clean, they supposed to tell you, get away from that. And then they also mentioned that his son-in-law left the firm. So when your family starts to run away from you, something is up, bruh. Like, something is really up. So then we get to the episode is about to end, and Sutton goes up and confronts Dorit and was like, why'd you throw me under the bus? And Dorit's like, I didn't throw you under the bus, honey. And Sutton's like, you kind of did. You kind of did. And I was like, you did. You did, but Dorit is fake. I mean, honestly, I would say either be like be like Lisa and be blindly loyal to this girl, or be like Sutton and be upfront and be like, a lot of this ain't making sense to me. Because for Dorit to sit on that couch and just talk and be like, I like co-signing and agreeing with what Sutton says, but then gets in front of Erica and does that stupid, like, I pray to God, that he comes and he helps you, because I know you didn't do this. And I was like, if you don't sit your fake British accent ass down somewhere, because I was like, that's so fake. That's just so fake. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic. Please drop down in the comments below and let me know what y'all think. And yeah, I'm out, y'all. Deuces.